Hello everyone and welcome back to Southern Wealth. I hope you guys doing very well. As you guys know, um, these weeks have been quite busy for me, but things are now stabilizing a little bit, so that's great. Don't forget, if you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. It's the only thing that I ask, so thank you very much for your support. Now, I would like to go straight to the crypto market, which I think it's actually quite interesting. I'll give you an update on some of my lottery tickets, as well as something that I was very keen to see, which is finally Ethereum seems to be grabbing quite the attention and finally seems to be starting to break, this downtrend versus Bitcoin. As I've mentioned, I would have expected this to happen in February and March in particular, but indeed, and this needs to be said, Bitcoin has been performing much stronger than expected. Now, why is Ethereum rising at this point? Well, maybe some people that applied for ETFs are now aware that an approval is likely, and maybe they are accumulating as much as possible before the time comes. Now, what people need to understand is that if we do get an Ethereum ETF, what you've seen in Bitcoin should be exponentially bigger in Ethereum. And the reason for it is actually quite simple, which is since Ethereum has a more centralization of ownership, that means that the liquid Ethereum available is much less, which means it's easier to pump the price up or down. So that's why Ethereum typically acts as leverage on Bitcoin. Number two is Ethereum with the proof of stake change most of the times is actually deflationary, while Bitcoin is still inflationary. So while people say, no, Bitcoin is deflationary. No, it's not. We had 0 coins and now we have 19 million. That's very inflationary. And say, oh yeah, but you remember the halving, right? No, but the halving cuts inflation in half. That's saying like we went from 4% to 2% inflation and somehow we are now in deflation. No, we're not. We're just in lower inflation. Until we get to 21 million, there's no deflationary pressure. Yeah, there's less supply coming, sure. But that is like saying, yeah, sure. I mean, as I just said, it's like saying, yeah, inflation was 4% and now it's 2%, and somehow this is deflation. No, it's not deflation, it's still 2% inflation. And with that, basically altcoins are just leverage on Ethereum plays. Higher levels of leverage or lower levels of leverage. And then within the leverage plays, you have the cycle one narratives. So I've just accumulated a few new lottery tickets, about 5 of them, all under the same theory, the Ribbity principle, the coins around Pepe. So I have FOTTI, I have Book of Ethereum, I have HOPPY, and I have, forgot the other one, but I will put it in the description of the video. I entered in all of them below 2 million market cap. That is my principle. As you guys know, some of them are already doing very well. Some of them are doing not so great. BIRDDOG as well. Sorry, BIRDDOG. And my expectation is very simple. I'm looking for coins that fit the narrative of Pepe, and I'm trying to catch them with very, very low market caps. Now, I do expect half of them to go nowhere, to get completely annihilated. But if I get 1 or 2 more Andes, just like the Andy that I got, that pays off all my lottery tickets and then a lot on top of it. That's the principle of risk management in my view, which is okay. If I lose, I lose small. If I win, I win big. And that's been the principle that I've been taking, and so far so good. As you guys know, I've been looking for cycle one narratives, and this narrative in particular has proven to be, at least for the moment, very, very strong. Will it be the case, for November 2024? Too far away to say. But if I do believe Ethereum is going to do well, I do think altcoins in general will do well, and I think the cycle one narratives will do particularly well. So I'm trying to catch these potential gems at very low market caps. Once again, these are all community takeover coins, so very unreliable. But if I'm right, I can get a quick 10x, maybe 20x. In the case of Andy, I got around 100x at some point. So that's the point, right? And that should pay for my principal, and eventually my plan is to rotate them partly into Pulse Chain, Pulse X, either on Icosa, and the rest take it as cash profit. So I de-risk and I get completely risk-free. So in that sense, I'm always very, calm and tranquil. We are approaching the week number 50 of Pulse Chain, which is expected to be between week 50 and 52, to be the time where all these weekends have been washed out, and hopefully we'll start to see a gradual rising on those coins as well. If not, there are some plans that I have to mitigate that factor. However, I am very convinced that this will indeed happen. Once again, Pulse Chain is leveraged on Ethereum, just like everything else. And I do believe, and now you've just seen, and this is very important, you see you have Optimism, Arbitrum, all of these layer 2s, all of them got frozen. You couldn't withdraw your money. Why? Because the level of security of a layer 2 is lower, and guess what? People could stop you from withdrawing your money. So now you felt a little bit the feeling of how unsafe your coins really are in layer 2s. That's why I don't talk about them. Because I know that if something happens to them, your money goes from millions to poof, zero that quick. Try to withdraw, doesn't work. Maybe those people will do the right thing, correct the mistake, and let it go again, but maybe they won't. And the point of crypto is to not pick pennies in front of freight trains, is not to be dependent on someone else. Real crypto, solves counterparty risk. Whenever you put your faith into other people's hands, you are always trying to play the game of some way or another. They will give you back your money, potentially even more money than what you got. But you're playing a game, which is the opposite of why crypto was created. And you don't need to feel, to be a victim of counterparty risk, because crypto, the real one, does not have it. So pay attention to what happened to layer 2s. If you guys don't know what it is, just Google layer 2, block money, optimism, blah, 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 this kind of stuff. You'll find it very easily. Okay, so always keep that in mind. Now, what other cycle narratives are going to see? To be seen. AI coins were very strong. Some of them are still very strong. Will they get another pump later in the year? Maybe. Very possible. Will we get a new cycle 1 narrative, like end game cycle narrative, a little bit like the NFTs in the previous cycle? Also possible. So always keep an eye for it. Once again, on my lottery tickets, I'm talking about, deployments of between $500 to $1,000, different wallets, different split from my main wallets, because I don't want any pollution between what I call lottery tickets and my retirement coins. So this is also very important, because there were some people that lost something like $3 million by connecting to a bad app and by engaging with fake airdrops and all of this kind of stuff. So always keep that in mind, because it's very easy for you to get destroyed with simple stuff like this. With that, guys, in summary, I want to see Ethereum keep on pumping. I want to see Ethereum a bit more decisively breaking out of Bitcoin and overtaking it and overperforming. Of course, I want Bitcoin to also do well, so I'm not one of these crazy people that want one of them to get slaughtered. But always understand that Ethereum is a leverage play on Bitcoin, and altcoins, for the most part, are leverage plays on Ethereum. If you catch altcoins on cycle 1 narratives, it can be extremely powerful, but it can also go to zero. So you need to always keep that in mind. And don't forget, I don't give you financial advice. I'm always very transparent. I'm telling you right now which coins I got in, at what market cap I got in. So if one of them goes up 100-fold, I'm not going to come up at the end and say, oh, you see, this one went up, this one went up, look, give me your money, right? I'm such a genius. I'm not going to do it. I talk about it before, in the beginning. And if it goes to zero, I come here and say, hey guys, by the way, do you remember, for example, the Brett on Ethereum? One of them is doing very well. I got in at around 2.5 million market cap. and it's now 8 million, 8.5 million. And the other bet on Ethereum, I got in at around 2 million, and it's now 300k. So one I'm down 90%, the other one I'm up 300%. So I tell the truth, I never lie. With that, guys, thank you very much for your support, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Always keep this in mind. Be careful with fake dApps. Be careful with layer 2s. No, I cannot give you financial advice. I cannot tell you what to buy or sell, but never forget why layer 1s are safer than layer 2s and the risks you're taking when you're putting your trust in somebody else. Hopefully they will do the right thing. Everybody will have access to their coins, and it's just a hiccup on the road. I'm not here advocating or wishing for the destruction of other communities. That's not my style. But always keep in mind the differences across the coins, because they can be very substantial. This is not all crypto. No, there are things which are very different. With that, guys, thank you very much for your support. Don't forget, by the way, I also saw something really sad. DMs on Telegram and so on are scams. Do not engage with DMs. Never. If you're new to crypto, this is rule number 1. Keep your seed phrase for yourself. Don't engage with DMs. Don't engage with your main wallets, with dApps, with apps, with websites, with airdrops that you are not 100% confident. With that, guys, thank you very much for your support, and I'll catch you in the next one.